Hello, good people. How are you? Hope you're good. I'm okay, as always, by the grace of God. Today, let's talk about God's miraculous provision. And today, I want us to refer to the book of First King, chapter 17, where God fed the prophet Elijah. And I'm going to share what I learned in this chapter. So, the book starts with God commanding the prophet Elijah to move. He says in First King 17, 1 to 4, "Go to the east and hide by Kerith brooks and eat what the ravens bring you, for I have commanded them to bring you food." Even this verse itself showed me how God won't send you somewhere before preparing the place. So he prepared the table for his people. And the fact that he had to use the ravens, guys, he used ravens to feed his prophets, right? So this taught me how God provision doesn't require our ideas. God provision doesn't require our suggestion. He used any creature, literally. He used any creature for his glory to be seen. And he used ravens for the prophet Elijah to be fed. And Elijah was just obedient enough to believe that, yes, God can use the ravens to feed me. And in the chapter, it shows how it shows how the raven fed him. Not only one time, he was fed. So if you want to understand more, please read the chapter, the full chapter. And down the line, it talk about how God sent him again to a widow at the Zarephath. I don't know if I pronounce it well. Anyway, so Elijah is fed by a widow who was left with just a single piece of bread and a little cooking oil. Imagine you just have the story. I'm actually amazed by how God used the least advantage to provide to his prophets. He could have used someone richer, someone who had it all, someone that had enough. But he just decided to choose this widow who had her last meal. She was at her last and she had no more hope and faith because she told the prophet that I only have one for me and my boy. And after eating this, we're going to die. That's what she believed. But God had other agenda for her. Even though it was her last meal, a bit of flour and a little oil, she was commanded by the prophet Elijah to use it to cook for the prophet and then make for herself later. So both of them were just being obedient to God. Elijah himself, he didn't care. He didn't care about what was going on in the woman's life because God sent him there. He did not go there by himself. And the woman didn't know where Elijah was coming from, but even though she didn't have detail, she obeyed, which is wonderful. And for us to obey, we require more detail, we require perspective, we require more before obeying to God. But this woman, she just obeyed and she prepared the table. She prepared the table for the prophet. And you know what this taught me is that sometimes when you hold on to the little that you have, you won't even have more. But this woman gave the little that she had to this person who was unknown to her. So along the line, you see how the widow of Zarephath faith was tested. That's how I saw it. I saw this story. Her faith was tested because she said, "I swear by the Lord your God that I don't have a single piece of bread in the house, and I only have a handful of flour left in the jar and a little cooking oil in the bottom of the jug. I was gathering a few sticks to cook this last meal, and then my son and I will die." She was literally desperate, weak. She was no longer fighting. She didn't even know where help could have come from, And it's almost like God asked us to give our all in order to get his full, Our all is so little, of course, but he's asking you to give that thing that you are holding on to in order to get the full that he wants to fill in your cup. If you're still holding on to the little that you have, you will just have little and die, just like this woman thought so. But she gave it away, and you know the story, she never lacked anything after that. And also, just imagine giving your last coin in hope that something might happen. That's what this woman did. She gave her last meal and hope that God will do a miracle. She actually thought that was her last meal and she would die. But she didn't die. Her son was sick and died, but he was resurrected by the prophet Elijah. She got more than she asked for. Her hope was renewed. She had everything, not just provision, right? She had life. She was dying, but she had life. She came back to life. She had enough. She never lacked anything. And her son was healed. resurrected. And after that, the chapter mentioned that they never ever lack anything. So trust God with the little that you have, and He'll give it all back to you. Ciao. See you next Thursday.